morning, everyone. Today's assignment is called Identifying Functions, and it's presented to you on a Google Slides assignment. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through each slide with you and let you know what you need to do on each slide. Just a reminder that sometimes it's easier to read the information in present mode, but then you can't do anything. You can't click on anything. You can't move anything while you're in present mode. So just go back and forth if you need to see it better. So there are 4 slides where you need to do something, and then you have an exit ticket that was also posted to you with this assignment. Please do that as well. So on this first slide, it says drag each letter based on whether or not the corresponding representation represents y as a function of x. Basically, are these functions or are they not functions? And you simply drag your letter and stating, so this box should have all the letters that represent functions, and this box should have all the letters that represent ones that are not functions. I'd like to talk to you quickly about E and I, because we've not seen ones like this so far. So E actually is not a function. If I were to take my input and my output columns and make ordered pairs, I'd have -5, 10, -5, 15, -2, 20, -2, 30. And when I do that, my input value of -5 has 2 output values, 10 and 15. So that makes this not a function. Same thing with the -2. When I input a -2, my output value is 20 and 30. So this is not a function. This is not to be confused with I. When I input a 4, my output is a -2. When I input an 8, my output is a -2. When I input a 12, my output is a +2. When I input a 16, my output is a +2. It is okay for 2 different inputs to have the same output as long as an input itself doesn't go to 2 different outputs. So if I were to make these ordered pairs, I'd have 4 -2, 8 -2, 12 2, and 16 2. In other words, when I input a 4, I only ever get an output of -2. Nothing else. When I input an 8, I only get an output of -2, nothing else. When I input a 12, I only get an output of 2. And when I input a 16, I only get an output of 2. So therefore, letter I is a function. Okay, so make sure if you come up upon ones that look like this later in different slides in this activity, you come back to E and I. E is not a function because your input of -5 has 2 outputs, 10 and 15. I is a function. Each of these inputs only goes to 1 output. It doesn't go to more than 1 output. Okay, so drag those letters, determining if these are functions or not. The next slide says, in each box, determine if the representation shows y as a function of x. In each white rectangle, type A, B, both, or neither. So in other words, you're looking at this box, you're looking at A and B, you're determining if they are functions or not. I would, especially for this one, look back at the last slide and E and I and think about what we'd said for those. Now, if only A is a function, you're going to insert a text box into this rectangle. You might want to make it a little bigger. And if only A were a function, you would type in A. If only B were a function, you would type in B. If they are both functions, you would type the word both. If neither one of them are functions, you would type the word neither. You do that for all 4 of these right here. And you can insert a text box using this button on this right here. The next slide says, use the clues below to determine which student made each representation. Type the name of the student in the white box under their representation. So there are 4 clues down here. You have to read each of these clues and determine which clue goes to which situation or which representation up here. When you've determined which one goes to whomever, you type the person's name underneath it. So you have Lori, Fernando, Belinda, and Kara. So underneath, only one will be used in each. Maybe this is Kara. Maybe this is Fernando. Belinda, Lori. I don't know. But you're again going to insert a text box into this white rectangle underneath and type the person's name that this would go with based on the clues below. And your last slide says use the shape tool to create a circle around the thumbs up or thumbs down to show if the relationship is a function. Then use the typing tool to explain your reasoning in the last column. So you have 4 different scenarios. You're determining if these are functions or not. If it is a function, you're putting a circle around a thumbs up. If it's not a function, you're putting a circle around a thumbs down. You can use this button right here for shape. Go to shapes, click on circle. And then you can draw a circle around either the thumbs up or thumbs down, determining whether or not it is a function or not. As you notice here, my circle is filled in, so it's covering up my thumbs up or thumbs down. If you want to change that, you can go to the fill color button, click it, and then click on transparent. It'll take away the color or the fill, and now you just have a circle around your thumbs up or thumbs down. There is already a text box inside each of these rectangles over here. So all you need to do is start typing your reasoning. If you determined that was a function, you need to tell me why. Every input only has one output. If you determined it not to be a function, you need to state which input has more than one output. Okay, so once you have completed these 4 slides, make sure you turn it in, and you also have the quick 2-question exit ticket to complete on your form. Good luck. I hope to see you at my Google Meet this afternoon. You have a link in your Google Classroom stream that will take you to the time of your class's Google Meet. I have period 1 and 6 together and periods 3 and 5 together again. And bring any questions you have to that. Hope to see you later.